I have reset the camera and the character, and we have a fresh set of posing dots here waiting for us to actually submit a pose to each one. We're going to use predefined poses here, or preset poses. Later on, I'm going to share with you how to custom pose your character, but for now, let's just quickly learn how to apply different poses or presets of your own within the posing dots. Let's bring our attention over here to the library. We have different options for the library. We have for the figures. We want to access any of our figures. They're listed here underneath these menus, and we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. We have our pose characters. This is what we're going to be interested in. But just quickly, face, hair, hands, or props, your lighting, your camera, and of course your materials. So each one have their own set of objects and options associated with them. We want the pose. Right down in here, I have several menus or several folders, and they're listed: aliens or wildlife or zodiac. In this case, I decided to choose the G2 folder, and as I scroll down, I have a folder called comic book. And if I can cascade it up or cascade it down to reveal all of our different poses. And if I select one, we have an action pose 1. And let's go down a little further, action pose 5. Let's go ahead and apply this. We have drag and drop technology now in Poser 8, so we click and hold and drag it on top of the character, and it's automatically posed. Now, I'm going to give you a recommendation here. Let's undo that. I'm going to hit Command or Control Z, or Edit, Undo, Control Z or Command Z, or Redo for Shift Control or Command Z. Now, let's save our original pose, which is the spread, default. Let's save that in case we ever want it. Just click an empty dot. It's done. Now, let's go do another pose. Let's kind of scroll down here, and let's grab action pose number 8, and click and hold and drag it on top of our object, and there it is. Let's rotate it around, and we've got action pose number 8. Wow, pretty nice. So let's save that pose. We click a pose dot. Let's get one more pose. Let's come over here and scroll down a little bit. How about hero pose number 4? This time, what I will do is double click it. Double click, and that pose is now applied. Alright, gotta move it around, take a look at it. Not bad. And let's create another pose dot right about here. Alright, so we have 3 separate poses. If I click on the second one, it automatically goes to our previous pose. If we go to the first one, it goes to our default one. Let's do one more just for fun. How about this one here? Double click like I did before. There's our pose, and let's associate it to this one here. Now I've got 4 different poses, and we can utilize these poses to create an animation sequence from one pose to the next. But we will cover animation in the DVD number 3, dealing with Poser 8 and animation. Okay. Alright, now once we create the poses, where do we go from here? How do we delete them? Okay, that's pretty easy. Take your mouse, place it over the pose, hold your Alt or Option key down, and click the dot, and that will delete it. Okay, so that pose is no longer there. Alright, not bad. You've got an idea how to take custom poses. Just go through here, look at the menus, play around with all the different options you have, If we go to, we're in action, we go to comics. How about fighting pose? You have all different types of options. Fist fight. Apply it. We can once again save that as a dot here. Save as many as you like, up to 9. Alright. Okay, so now you have an idea how to save your poses. Let's get into lighting our character. I'm going to keep this particular pose, and we're going to go over to the lighting controls, and I'm going to show you how to adjust your lights, how to use them, how to navigate them to get a little bit more of a dynamic, to make your poses much more dynamic.